Hey, what's up, everyone? Today I have a confession. And so, first of all, yesterday I did 365 days live in a row, consecutively going live every single day. And I won't lie. Yesterday, I got a little bit emotional. Towards the end of my session, I was getting, like little sand in the air, little tear coming out of my eye. I was kind of getting a little bit emotional. And for some people, maybe wondering why. And that's why I have a confession. Because why have I been doing what I've been doing? Why have I gone into this? And I think it's important for people to know as well, and why this was such a big deal for me. Because a couple of years ago, I got a phone call which changed my life. And it was an emotional phone call, which is why I don't want to talk about it too. Like, I haven't talked about it too much. But today I want to tell you about it. Because the reality is, this goal for me was a huge deal. Like, achieving this goal was such a big deal for me, and I'll tell you why it was a big deal. For a lot of people, you may not realize, but it was a big deal for me in so many ways, because ultimately achieving this goal was challenging because it was very different to my personality type. Okay, I'm the kind of person that starts and stops a few things. I get distracted very easily, like squirrel. I'll be distracted. I also am not a person that has completed many things in the past. And I even took a couple of personality tests, and these things, that's what they said. That's what they've told me. And it's, to a certain degree, in the past, that's been very true. So a lot of aspects of this goal that I had set myself were challenging in very different ways. I can speak live to an audience, for example, but like, to do something like this was challenging in a very, very different way. So it was against my personality type. Also, inherently, I'm sometimes a very lazy person. Like, for me to keep doing this every single day, like when I was sick, when I had COVID, I was doing my lives. When I was crazily busy and literally had no time, I went live. When I had bad news come through and I was feeling down, I still went live. Like, I would not allow myself any excuses. And also, I cared, like, the previous me cared too much about what people thought. And this was a challenge in different ways, because I wasn't sure, like, if anyone was there, what would happen? Like, if no one's watching, could I continue? And a lot of times people weren't watching. A lot of times I thought maybe people just aren't really interested in what I have to say. And a part of me, felt like giving up a few times, because, like, why would people care what I have to say? Maybe people aren't interested. I also, like, made some mistakes, and like, where I cared, like, I would say the wrong thing, and I'd be like, oh, why did I say that? Or why did I talk about this thing? Or etc. And I'd have regret, but I still kept it up. I still kept it live. And all of this comes down to a couple of things, which I'll share with you, that phone call, basically. And another challenge that I had was, I love taking advice from very successful people, and successful people online. And a couple of people that were online, they said to me, listen, Muneer, you shouldn't go live every single day. And this was after I said it to everyone. I said, everyone, I'm going to go live every single day. And then, like, a few months down the line, a couple of people said, you shouldn't really go live every day. You need to give your videos room to breathe. You shouldn't be sharing everything that you have, because if you don't make people pay for it, then they won't pay attention. A couple of other people said. A couple of people said that you'll start to run out of steam. And you know what? To be very honest with you, they are very valid points. But at the same time, I made a commitment, and I said I was going to follow through. And so again, this was something that another challenge that I kind of faced, something that was against me. And then another thing, and one of the reasons I actually said, you know what, I'm going to try and go live every day, is because I used to make videos. But when I'd make videos, before edited videos, I used to really overjudge everything that I did. I would look at the video and go, oh man, that angle, I look really chubby, or I ummed and ahhed and I said too much. I better cut it out, or I better not go with it. And I used to judge and judge and judge, and it just led to me not doing anything with it. And then finally, I used to think, I'm learning from people like Tony Robbins and Richard Bandler, the Dr. Richard Bandler, the guy that created NLP. Basically, I've traveled the world to learn from some of the best speakers, and inherently, I'm thinking I'm not as good as them. I'm not as good as this person. I'm not as good as that person. And so I always kind of like, well, why should I give advice when I'm not as good as all these other people? And so these were all things that were so against me, that really played on my mind as to how I could do this. But I want to tell you, there was one thing that kept me going. Yes, Mary, it's 366. Thank you so much. Thank you. Great to see you. Mary, I need to get in touch with you. Maybe drop me a message because we've got your prize as well. So, but there was one thing that really kept me going. And throughout all of this, how could I achieve everything? If I didn't have such a strong desire, I would have easily have given up, because I had every excuse. I had everything against me. So what is it that kept me going? And it's not just a desire to have an impact. Why did I have a desire to make an impact? And that's because I got a phone call a couple of years ago. And this phone call changed my life. Now, before I tell you about the phone call, let me just explain or give you a little background. About five or 6 years ago, I went to Dublin. I went to do a course, and I was sitting in this classroom in a Captorn Hotel in Dublin. Captain Tower Hotel. No, Captain Tower Hotel in Dublin. And we're just sitting, it's normal sort of seating, and there's the teacher at the front of the class. And the trainer, he's giving us all this thing. It's a personal development training seminar. And then at some point he says, okay, now I want you to turn to the person next to you and do an exercise. So I turn to the person next to me, and it's a lady. I'm going to call her S because for her family's privacy, I'll just call her S. I turn and say, hi, good to meet you. What's your name? She goes, S. And okay, great. It's so awesome to meet you. And let's get going. And we start to do the exercise together. And, we get along. We're friends. We become friends. And throughout the whole training over the next couple of days, we connect a bit more, and we have a laugh. You're interacting with all the different students. And then at one point, she says to me, I've been going through a hard time recently, and I just lost my brother. And I started helping her out, started giving her a few tips, because I'd been to a number of personal development seminars. So I knew a few things. So I started helping her just as a friend. I started helping her out. And as I started helping her out, she says a few things to me like, you know what, Muneer, you're really amazing. You should do this more. You should do this for a living. You should share your message with the world. In fact, if you made a course, I would join it. She says it as an aside. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. You know what? I might do. Here's the crazy thing. Over the next couple of years, I did kind of create some courses. I did create content. I did create a few courses. And me and S, we kept in touch over this time. We kept in touch. And every once in a while, every few months, she'd say to me, you know what, Muneer, have you created something that will help, like have you created a course? And I would say to her, you know what? Yeah, it's in the works. It's coming one day soon. I created something. I did create a course. But the reality is, I never put it out. And here's why I never put it out. Because I would always think, it's not good enough. What will people say? Oh, I look bad in this video. Oh, I look a bit chubby. Oh, I said too much. Oh, but I'm not good as other people. I'm not as good as other people. And I used to say all these things. And hey, maybe I did look a bit chubby. Maybe I did, whatever. But none of that mattered, because a couple of years ago, I got a call from a mutual friend. And our mutual friend said to me, Muneer, I'm sorry to say, but S has committed suicide. Now, this was very hard because obviously it was a friend. It was a friend that I had for a few years. I mean, I definitely, it's not like I blame myself or anything like that, because I don't know the circumstances, to be very honest with you. But what I do know is that she believed that I could help people. I didn't help people because I worried too much about what would people think, what would people say, how will my message come across. So why did I get emotional yesterday? Because a year ago, after I got this phone call, after I let some time process, I promised myself never again would I ever allow myself to stop myself from potentially helping someone. I can do it imperfectly, but if there's a slight chance that I have an impact on someone, then I'm going to give it my all. And I will do her memory justice, and this is why I kind of got emotional yesterday towards the end, because yesterday every once in a while, or over this last year, a couple of people have said, you know what, Muneer, thank you so much. One of your videos really helped me, or something like that. And to be honest with you, for all the times that I've made mistakes, for all the times that I've messed up, for all the times that I've got it wrong, for all the times that I look like an idiot, for all the times that I came out and I said the wrong things, none of that matters. Because if there's one video and one person that hopefully I've made an impact in their life, then it was worth it. And that's why yesterday was my Mount Everest. All those excuses I said right at the beginning, none of them mattered, because yes, hey, there might be better speakers than me. Hey, there might be better speakers than you, or better, more knowledgeable people than you. But at the end of the day, none of that matters, because if there's someone in front of you that you could help and you can make an impact, then that's the most important thing. That you are the most important person in that moment. And so for me, I want to encourage you to make an impact in someone's life, even if it's just your own. This is why I kind of have been going live so frequently. This one phone call, like I said to you at the beginning, everything was against me, everything. And I wasn't a great speaker, and I made a whole bunch of mistakes, but I knew that I had to push myself so that I would never let anything like this ever happen again. So thank you so much, Etienne. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, brother. And Beryl, thank you. It's tough. It's tough. But I want to think that I've done this justice, because there will be someone that needs your help. And maybe, hey, if like, I hope you aren't too scared of what someone might think or someone might say, or so that you don't say anything. That I want to give people the opportunity to go out and have the impact that you're meant to have. So this one full quote changed it all. So I vowed never to overthink my attempt to contribute ever again. So my message for you today is I don't want any of you to ever second guess yourself. And look, I will tell you, like, whatever your personality type, whatever, however, if you're lazy like I was, if you care too much what people think, I've been there. If other people are telling you not to, if you've overjudged, if you think you're not as good as other people, I have been there with all of those things. I've been there, and that for me was such a huge thing over this last year. So please, whatever it is that you want to achieve, please never second guess yourself, and go out there. And I hope that you make an impact. That's why this is my phrase. That's why I kind of end with this on some of my videos. Now go out and make an impact in someone's life, even if it's your own. Because hey, the first person it's going to start with is you. And then I hope that potentially, if you ever get any little bit of something in any of my videos, I hope that you can use it to make an impact in someone else's life as well. So with that, I want to thank all of you guys for sticking with me throughout this whole year. And I appreciate every single one of you for all the support, all the encouragement, and in the end, be yourself. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Rashi. I really appreciate you guys. And so that was my confession. That's a little bit of my why. Now, as I say, go out and make an impact in someone's life, even if it's your own. I appreciate you all. Thank you guys for tuning in. Lots of love. Peace out. And I will catch you on another episode real soon. Take care. Bye for now.